prisoners will be, please contact the prison immediately. Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
All right. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. Sorry I missed the call yesterday, but we had a lockdown, or they didn't unlock us, so, yeah.
Yeah, I figured. Alrighty. I've got you some questions here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you have to, it's not very well, but go on.
Just a second. Sorry, mate. Just setting something up. Alrighty. You remember when you said the screw took advantage of you and kicked your teeth out?
Yeah, that was in the rubber room back in the, a long time ago, yeah.
Do you want to tell us about that? Only if you can.
Mate, yeah. Listen, there was a bunch of screws here, right, back at the time. It used to be a very violent and dangerous place, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The screws used to, there was a lot of bashings and a lot of, there was a lot of bashings and things like that. But the thing is, it was a two-sided thing as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we had an issue with a screw, we could just grab the cunt by the scruff of the shirt and drag the cunt in the cell and fucking bada bing, bada boom, you know what I mean?
Is that how it was?
That's how it was, you know what I mean? And then, but at the same token, they used to, if they had an issue with us, then we'd be bouncing off the walls as well, you know what I mean? So it was a two-way thing. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It's just how it was, you know what I mean? It was just a sign of the times, if you had an issue with someone, you could just listen here, get in the cell, you know what I mean? And you could sort it out in the cell. And 9 times out of 10, we never used to win, but at least you could have a crack, you know what I mean? You could deal with the issue. And then once the door was shut, that was it. It was over and done with, you know, until the next one.
But never one-on-one, eh?
Sorry?
And never one-on-one or anything like that, eh?
I've had two. Yeah, one-on-one, like with the screws, but they had some issues, and we were in the cell and bada bing, bada boom, and the other screws didn't jump in. They just stood at the door, standing outside the door, just let it fall where it fell. You know what I mean? As long as you know what I mean, no one plucked a weapon or anything like that. It was.
That's surprising to hear for the screws. Usually they can't, fight one-on-one. They usually got to fight 6 against 1.
Well, that's usually the case. But there was a couple, you know what I mean, like they were comfortable in their own skin, and they used to either tell them to stand back or mind your own business, and they were comfortable in their skin to not. Do you know what I mean?
More back in the day, but not so much anymore, I guess.
No. Well, there was an issue, and it was a two-way street. It wasn't something that was, but I was placed in the rubber room, and I was trussed up like a chook. I was handcuffed behind the back, ankles shackled, and then put in a straitjacket. And then they put a helmet on you. And but he took a cheap shot after I was trussed up. He kicked me in the face, and as a result, I lost some teeth.
Low life cunts.
But it wasn't long after that that I remembered what he did, and because we don't forget these things. And then so a couple of weeks later he was on, and I tried to snap his kneecap. And then he left after that because it was a bit. He thought that was a little bit too much.
Too close for comfort, eh?
Beg your pardon?
Too close for comfort.
Well, you know what I mean? Some things, it's you know what I mean? Are worth more than a punch on the nose.
You shook him up.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So he left after that. He was made to feel not welcome.
Well, what do you expect when you do shit goes like that and knock people's teeth out?
Yeah. And it was happening. It wasn't just me. There was other individuals. It was a pretty nasty and violent place. It's a place you didn't want to be in. It was a little bit like say Bogger Road, Queensland back in the day. Like Pentridge back in the day, Jiga in New South Wales. You know what I mean? Like it's like some things were just the way they are. You know what I mean? Like it was.
Wow. Even though you didn't get out of your cell much, or did you get out more back then, or still never got out of the cells?
You did. You had yard in the morning, and you had yard in the afternoon. You had a lot more privileges. You were, you know what I mean. You had a job, or they give you it like $5 you were paid. Like it was a lot more privileges back then, but it was a lot more harsher too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you weren't psychologically. It was more physical than psychological. You know what I mean? Like they never went out of their way to, like, you got your food, the food that you were supposed to get, you got. You know what I mean? Like everything was black and white, simple as that, and not one thing changed from one screw to the other screw. It was just blanketed all the way through, and it was the same for everyone.
So it's gone from more of a place of hard crooks to a mental asylum where you're just locked down, basically, eh?
Yeah. Now it's more of it's like a psych ward. It's all mental health, and it's all it's just fucking. You know what I mean? Like those. You know what? In the last 12 months in the system, there's probably only been 2 screws who have been builded in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
There's you know what I mean. There's probably only been 1 stabbing in the South Australian system in the last 12 months. The prison system now is not the same. The prison culture now is different to them. To what I'm used to. You know what I mean? But just because it's gone that way doesn't mean that I have to be that way. Like I still have manners and respect and consideration for other people, and I still, you know what I mean, I still conduct myself sort of pro-socially and et cetera, you know what I mean, until required otherwise. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you do well considering.
Beg your pardon?
You do well considering how long you've been in isolation and all that. You're very sociable, you know?
Well, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you have to be. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, it's not like, I see it akin to, like when you go shopping and you're in Woolworths and that, you don't go in there and ostracise other customers and bump into them and be a prick and be rude and, well, I don't think so anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but to keep that level-headedness through all you've been through, like I would have snapped. I would be way more aggressive and hateful than you, I think.
This is what happens when you become an old man now, you know what I mean? But it's with wisdom and everything. I was never this way. I used to be a fucking real nasty pasty, you know what I mean? Like, people, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't a very nice person, you know what I mean? I wasn't a nice person to talk to, and, you know, like, I was an arsehole, you know what I mean? And things like that. But over time, you have to, like at the moment, you know what I mean? Like, because of how, you have to pick and choose your battles now, you know what I mean? And, like, don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? Like, I can still swing an axe if I have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just pick my battles a bit more better these days, you know what I mean? Because, yeah, I don't know whether it's age or the way things are, but I'm forced into that position too.
Age.
I don't have the luxury now of just grabbing these by the shirt and get in here and so, because I can't do that. You know what I mean? Like,
You probably get outside charges these days, would ya?
Oh, who cares?
Yeah.
What are they going to do? You know what I mean? Put me in jail. Put me in jail. You know what I mean?
I guess you're right. What can they do to you?
Yeah. You know, so, you know, like, yeah.
But it would ruin your prospects of ever getting out of that unit, I guess.
No. You know what I mean? I've got to fight them another way now, and that's only through, like, it's through lawyers now, but the thing is that legal aid won't fund you in civil applications, and because it's the prison, full administration. I've only got one call today, so I can unring you tomorrow. So I'll catch up with you tomorrow.
Thanks, Mick.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.